The language of Knox. How the first mediumistic communications emerged in chapters Sphenes of the second part of the Book of Mediums, Allan Kardec delves into the study of the so-called language of signs and knocks. This was one of the first methods used in attempts at mediumistic communication during the 19th century. The idea was simple. Noises, knocks, or movements would serve as answers to questions posed by participants. In its most basic form, one knock could mean yes, and two knocks could indicate no. Over time, this system became more elaborate. The knocks began to represent letters of the alphabet, allowing for the formation of complete words and sentences. This process required great patience, as each letter needed to be indicated by a sequence of knocks. Kardec analyzes this method as an initial attempt to create a code of communication between two planes of existence. But he also acknowledges its limitations. The interpretation of knocks can be influenced by various physical and psychological factors. Today we know that small, involuntary movements of the body can produce sounds or vibrations in nearby objects. Moreover, the expectations of the people involved can influence the interpretation of the responses. Modern psychology describes a phenomenon known as the ideomotor effect. In this effect, the brain can produce unconscious micromuscle movements, especially when there is a strong expectation of an outcome. This explains why, in many situations, seemingly external responses can reflect the unconscious thoughts or intentions of the participants themselves. Kardec, for his part, recommends caution. He states that any communication obtained through signals or knocks should be analyzed carefully and never accepted without examination. The value of these experiences, according to him, lies more in the investigative process than in the phenomenon itself. Over time, methods considered more direct, such as mediumistic writing, began to be used more frequently. Perhaps the most important lesson from this passage is to understand that the study of mediumship started with simple attempts at communication. These experiences were part of a historical process of investigation. As in any area of knowledge, the search for truth requires patience, method, and discernment. If this reflection on the language of Knox has broadened your perspective on the early mediumistic experiences, share this content with those seeking to understand these phenomena with a balance between science and spirituality.